Hi, I'm Nicole, and we studied Apple.
Hi, I'm Joe.
I'm Caroline.
And I'm Max. So an overview of this presentation of Apple will include the history, environmental analysis, current marketing plan, and case study. These things are important to evaluate because they determine the goals, expectations, target market, and features of a new product, and our new product is the iCamera. We'll be going over what the iCamera is, its new marketing plan, its implementation, and evaluation.
So, a quick history on Apple. It was founded in 1976 by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak. Steve Wozniak ended up leaving the company in 1983, which then in turn made John Sculley join the company. That actually caused a huge decline in the company, and Steve Jobs was begged to come back and then became CEO of the company. After this comeback, the company, their stock improved by 15,000%.
So next is the environmental analysis. Technological growth has put the electronic industry ahead as it leads into a lot of manufacturers. Due to the entry of the electronic industry in everyday life, computers and phones have become a commodity product. This has resulted in various levels of provider strategies. The providers who provide at a low price may not be able to satisfy the users who want the best features, whereas providers such as HP, Dell, and Samsung offer the customers a wide range of options for varying prices. Apple differs from those providers because they provide high quality and high cost products, but without the diverse models. For example, Apple consists of a single model iPhone varying only in its memory, whereas Samsung may vary in its product options from the technology by varying its costs. Apple is a well-known, established giant in the technology industry. Because of that, they have a lot of competitors, and these competitors have a substantial impact on Apple and its marketing strategies. While Apple is considered to be a frontrunner in the industry, companies like Google, Microsoft, Samsung, Dell, and Sony are all right behind Apple. Apple must continue to evolve and develop new strategies in order to stay ahead of the competition. Apple stays ahead of the competition by implementing differentiation. By differentiating Apple products from all the competitors' products, they manage to completely stand out in the market. Apple's unique products that have elegant designs are unlike anything else in the market. This makes Apple products more expensive in the technology market, but also gives them a competitive advantage with the fact that they provide a social benefit. Differentiation has caused Apple to gain the competitive, economic, and socio-cultural advantage over their competitors, but it also gives Apple a technological advantage. Striving to stand out from the competition and to be completely different than anything that has ever been seen before requires innovation. What helps Apple to innovate from other companies is their ability to perceive trends and behavior, gather points, and launch high-quality products to meet those aspirations. Apple has been working hard to innovate, starting in 1984 with the first Macintosh. The company took advantage of innovations by firms that were already available in the market, such as the mouse and the graphical interface, this created revolutionary products by investing a big percentage of their gross margin into new technology like the well-developed iPhone technology, which started a mixture of phone and the current iPod launched in 2001. The technology they produce in their products is the highest quality and performance at a high level because it has to. If it didn't, then they wouldn't fulfill their differentiation strategy.
Okay, so for Apple's current marketing plan, obviously one of the biggest things for Apple is to continue to come out with groundbreaking features, ideas, and new updates. They like to announce the new product a couple weeks in advance, and that just creates a word of mouth buzz around the new technology, and people will be talking about it more. And so that gets people talking about the new technology before it even comes out. And then obviously when it does come out, everyone's talking about it as well. One of their marketing objectives objectives is to avoid price wars between their competitors. They do this because their technology is good and they know it's good, and so that way they don't have to try to like just to compete with the price. They don't have to try like make a worse product. They just make the best product they can, and because they know that people are going to buy it no matter the price. They differentiate their products. Apple differentiates its products and services on the provision of seamless experience that empowers users to produce their best work. By doing this, they they get the customers to come back to buy their newer product, even if they come back to buy the new product because they had a good experience with their last Apple product. Okay, so for Apple's current marketing plan, we first had to analyze how Apple segments their market. Marketing segmentation is just refers to how like a company divides their customers into smaller groups on characteristics such as age, income, personality traits, and behavior. Doing this, Apple like can create products for different niches and and just create products that different types of people are going to want to buy, and they can pick a product that will work for them. Apple positions itself as a premium brand, so they offer products and services with advanced functions for additional costs. This just means that people who are willing and able to spend more money on their iPhone, they can get like an iPhone with a better camera and more storage or better features. And Apple's current target market consists of a 35 to 44-year-old men, because they are right now that's the demographic that is just purchasing the Apple products the most. Under the leadership of Steve Jobs, like back in the beginning and of the whole Apple company, they mainly used mono segment, which just means they created one version of the product. They didn't target it towards like a certain group. They just kind of came out with a product, and because it was a good product, they knew people were going to buy it. However, since Tim Cook has became the CEO, they have shifted to a multi-segment positioning, and this just means that, like you have probably seen, like with the new iPhone 11 and the iPhone 12, they have like for the iPhone 11, there's a couple different cameras on the different phones, and you can buy an iPad that's like 11 inches or a 13-inch iPad. And this way they can just, again, like target different customers for a different product. High-end models, customer models, and lifelong old products, the company keeps around to fill every niche and price point. Okay, so for Apple's marketing goals and plans, obviously, since they are a leader in the technology world, their goals are just to like stay that way, but like keep improving within the brand. They want to expand emerging markets. They want to improve their software for all of their products and collaborate with networking companies. Steve Jobs kind of said it best with his quote, and he pretty much in this quote, he's talking about how Apple's goal isn't to make money. Their goal is to design and develop and bring good products to the market. And with that, like people pretty much they're gonna make money anyways, even if they're not like targeting it just to make money. They're gonna make money anyways because they do come out with good products, and the customers are consistently happy with the Apple products, so they're going to just keep coming back for more Apple products. In the past month, they came out with the iPhone 12, which created a lot of buzz around the internet. And iPhone just aims to consistently create this buzz with their new products. They want to get into different products, like we've seen them come out with the Apple Watch and like the Apple TV and everything like that. Like they just want to keep growing, not only with their iPhones, but with all their source of technology.
So for their 4Ps, product is pretty self-explanatory. They have a long list of both tangible and intangible products, from Apple Care to the touchless pay methods to Apple TV. They have a few intangible products and a multitude of tangible products that most people know. For Place, these products can be purchased in several different channels. You can buy it straight from the Apple Store, from a cellular provider, from straight off the website. There's several different ways you can go about purchasing these products and where these products are placed. Promotion. Apple promotes their products in multiple different platforms that most people know. Their advertising is very good. For price, it's actually really similar to Samsung products, but like Caroline said, they really just focus on trying not to have price wars just because they know people will purchase their products.
So I performed the SWOT analysis of Apple. It's important for any company to perform SWOT analysis because it identifies strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So I put down 3 for each category, and I'll describe those 3, but go into more detail on which one we think is the most important. So for the strengths, technology, Apple is an industry leader in technology and coming out with new products. Social status, when you own an Apple product, you are automatically placed into a ranking of sorts within your community. And then additional products and services, these are things that Apple provides in addition to like their line products. And we think that the additional products and services are the most important because some of the times this is why people buy Apple. They work well with other Apple products. You have, Apple Car, Apple Play, TV, music. There's a multitude of different types that only Apple offers. For weaknesses, pricing, Apple products can be fairly expensive. Therefore, the upper middle class and high class. Advertising, Apple does have some advertising. They don't have as much as some other companies. And then software compatibility. Software compatibility we thought was probably the most important one because, like I said, Apple products work great with Apple products. And it can be difficult to interface between, say, an Apple product and an Android. I know I've had issues personally when I have Windows for a Apple user to be able to open up my document that I send to them. Now for opportunities, artificial intelligence is an ever-growing market that has a lot of potential. Apple could be more environmentally friendly. They use a lot of rare earth materials, and their phones aren't the easiest to recycle. Then autonomous vehicles, that is again an ever-growing market. You have Tesla, you have GM who's coming out with their autonomous vehicles. But we thought that the most important one out of these 3 was AI because it's growing in popularity. It's a cool feature to have. That would be a big selling point, is you have something that has a high level of artificial intelligence. It can make our lives easier. It can do more for us. There's already examples of it. And it would just be a beneficial thing to have on their products. Now for threats, you have competitors. You have Samsung, you have LG, you have Google. They're always trying to catch the upper hand. Counterfeit products, this is a big deal in China. They have products that aren't Apple but pretend to be, and they don't work as well. There's bugs, there's a lot of problems. And then decreased performance. This actually was a lawsuit back with the iPhone 8 that Apple admitted to, where they intentionally decreased the performance of the battery with the iPhone 8, thus making you would have to go and get a new iPhone. And out of these three, we said that competitors were the most important threat, because you have LG with the new phone for gaming, you have Samsung with the super zoom camera, and you have the Google Pixel. And all these are just trying to one up the iPhone and create a feature that makes them better than Apple.
So for the case study, I really tried to just focus on what Samsung or what Apple is doing better than Samsung. And just to start us off, Apple, a little fact, Apple sells 18% of the world's smartphones, but makes 87% of the world's smartphone profit. Clearly, they're doing something right then. But just when it comes down to the 4 Ps for each company, just in comparison, their products, like Max was stating, they are not compatible. And this has a tendency to show that like Samsung products are lower quality. For price, they're relatively similar, but Apple provides, or Apple has Apple Care, and this just shows that that the company is dependable and is reliable on some of their products, and this does fluctuate with the price. Place, Samsung is a South Korean company, so their headquarters are not in the United States, and given some very patriotic people, they believe it's better to support Apple because the headquarters are in the United States, although they're produced in the same place. There's also very few Samsung stores in the United States. You can go to a phone provider, but when it comes to an actual store, they're very limited in the United States. And for promotion, Apple excels at this because Apple announces the announcement date. Then they announce the product on that announcement date. And then they finally announce when the product will be released. And then when the product's released, people will go sleep on the streets for days to get the new iPhone. This just goes to show like this anticipation and the buildup of these products that promotes their products very well. So our new product that we hope Apple will come up with is a digital camera. I believe this is a really big market that they could get into. They clearly do a very good job creating cameras, that this would be something they would excel at, as well as it would get into the photography market and the tourist market, which is both very big. Yeah.
So the iCamera, there, if we had more time, I could go into a lot of detail with it. But so what the iCamera is it's a revolutionary new camera that anyone can use. You know, if you're a beginner, if you're a professional, if you're an influencer, a vlogger, YouTuber, whatever it is, our camera that we created takes it all and condenses it down to one. So with it, we have artificial intelligence. This will compute, you know, your aperture, your shutter speed, your ISO sensitivity, all these things that it takes a lot of practice to figure them out. And professionals know how to use it, but if you're just getting into it, you may not know how. Another feature, we have an LTE card built into it, so you can upload the pictures straight to the cloud that you take. Thus, in turn, it almost provides you with unlimited, storage. You don't have to have an SD card to change out. Another feature, it's a 45 megapixel camera that shoots video at 8K, has voice recognition. You can tell it, iCamera, take a picture, and it'll do it. We have infrared for nighttime use, a parabolic microphone built in, so the audio is a much higher quality than some of the competitors. We put a huge battery in it, and it's water resistant. So all these things make the iCamera superior to other brands. So place for manufacturing and assembly, we would do exactly like Apple's always been doing in China and Vietnam. We would sell it directly from Apple stores and from Best Buy, because with this camera, you need to know a lot about it. You have to know all the ins and outs of it and how to operate it. So at the Apple stores, it'd be coming directly from Apple when you purchase it. And from Best Buy, it'd be indirect selling, because they are sort of the middleman. For promotion, obviously Apple already does TV, websites. They have their own website and ads that they run. Word of mouth will be a big part of it, because again, with the social categories of it, when you have an iPhone, other people want an iPhone. A big promotion thing for our camera would be maybe a photography competition, bringing people together from all over, taking pictures with just their iPhone, and then the winners would get an iCamera and they would be featured maybe on their ads or TV commercials. Then National Geographic, giving National Geographic these cameras to use, and then publishing their pictures, because everyone knows National Geographic is one of the best places for photography. And if they're using this camera, why wouldn't you want to use it? For price, we came up with the price at $3,999, so $4,000. And the reason we did this is to keep it within the price range of other Apple products. There are still MacBooks that are more expensive than the price we made for the iCamera. We wanted higher quality for a lower price. And that's almost an attempt to not only get our foot in the door into the camera market, but to attempt to take it over a little more and a little quicker.
So next is the implementation and the evaluation. So to bring the iCamera to the market successfully, several key steps will have to be taken in order to implement it into Apple's product line. The most important step to take first would be to take the time to communicate with each member of like the sales, marketing, and customer service teams about what the steps for implementing the iCamera are and what their specific responsibility will be. Any negative media attention or dislike from influential people will cause problems for the product due to the fact that Apple has a large scene in multiple media outlets. To prevent backlash from the online communities when implementing the iCamera, Apple should gain control of the media through endorsements and advertisements. As someone who has seen, like time and time again, the personal reaction people have to new Apple products, I know the first impressions can influence whether or not someone would purchase the product. The problem that can be foreseen here is that people will say the iCamera is too niche, too expensive, and it's just an iPhone without the phone. If things like that are said about the iCamera, it could heavily impact its success. Apple already has like advertisements on billboards showing the great quality of the iPhone camera. So I think the obvious thing here to do for like more advertisements for the iCamera would be to also put iCamera advertisements on the billboards. Once people see the difference in quality between the iPhone and the iCamera on the billboards, they will be able to realize the improvements they will receive with the iCamera and why it exists by itself and not just in a phone. Also, having celebrities and people with social media influence endorse the iCamera will improve public image. Once people hear popular people with credible opinions talking about the usefulness and the benefits of the iCamera, there will be minimal problems with the product in the public's eye. Now that the camera would be on the market and people are starting to purchase it, it'd be time to establish a dominance or foothold in the market. Surely, since Apple is such a big company and imitators will join the market of the high-tech cameras. Once the iCamera is a success, lifelong loyalists of Apple will, and even like normal customers, will expect the iCamera 2, since that is the trend that Apple seems to take with their successful products. This expectation gives Apple an advantage. If people are expecting this, they will not be able to purchase competitors' product while they won't purchase a competitor's product while they wait. A lot of times when a new Apple product releases in previously established Apple product line, customers might complain that the new product is too similar to the last installment. The iCamera is going to demand drastic innovation to keep customers interested, or else Apple will lose their share in the market since iCamera is substantially different from the rest of Apple's products. Without adding installments to the product line that truly innovate the digital camera market, Apple would lose any dominance it had in the market. Imitators will be able to perfectly replicate the iCamera in different ways and sell it for cheaper prices, and the market would be too easy to enter. The last step when implementing the iCamera into the digital market would be to analyze and evaluate its success. The perfect way to evaluate the iCamera's progress would be to set goals for it before it's even released. By setting goals for the product, Apple would be able to easily track its progress. If they reach the goals that they set, they'll know they're doing well. If they don't reach those goals, then they will know they aren't doing well and their strategy needs to be changed.
Okay, and so to wrap it all up, Apple has consistently led the technology world ever since the creation of the colored monitor. And so that's why, that's one of the main reasons why we think that they should bring in the iCamera. Their company has been led by the best pioneers with brilliant ideas. And we think that to add the iCamera would just be another brilliant idea. And we know that Apple already has the tools that they need the tools like assets, cash, employees, investors, equipment, and facilities. We know that they have the technology and the equipment to create the iCamera. Only a company as technologically advanced as Apple would have the ability to come up with a camera that has the capabilities and features of the iCamera. We think the iCamera would be a major improvement to Apple because it is something that would be able to increase their revenue. The reason we're so confident that the iCamera would sell at Apple is because Apple has already earned credibility with their cameras, just because their phone cameras are a lot better than the average phone camera. We think by using their current marketing strategies and by adding a couple more marketing strategies that would be unique to the iCamera, it would be able to sell. The strategies that would be unique to the iCamera are things like, since social media has been growing so much in the past couple of years, and even in the past couple of months, different social media platforms have been growing so much. And if we have these influencers using the iCamera and showing their followers that they're using the iCamera, we think that will have a major impact on just the public's perception of the iCamera. They will be more likely to want to buy the iCamera even though they already have an iPhone that does have a great camera. If we really show the public why the iCamera is so much better and all the aspects that are so great to the iCamera, we think that the public would really be able to quickly fall in love with the iCamera. And that's just one of the many reasons why we think that Apple should bring in the iCamera. And that is pretty much it for today. Thank you so much for listening to us and our Apple marketing plan.
Thank you.